Hello, everybody. Welcome back into the channel. Welcome back into the channel. So, tonight is not about the headlines, really. It's about what happens when leadership starts to fail. This is what it looks like, and the cracks stop being hidden. Because right now, we got cracks everywhere in this administration. This is wild. Hello, welcome back in. Welcome back in. Hit the like and share and subscribe. So, at the top level of government, you got instability tonight. Questions about leadership, credibility, and who's actually doing the controlling. Because we've had reports about Donald Trump losing it in X, Y, and Z. So, if he loses it and he has such powerful reins on all of the things that go on in the government, who's going to run it if something happens to him? They're talking about serious allegations surrounding Kash Patel, of course. Now, trying to file a big lawsuit while facing claims that raise real concerns. You know, he's a drinker. We don't know whether he's a drinker or not. I'm not going to say that. Allegedly. But there's judgment involved with that. At the same time, you got the Lori Chavez DeRemer. What's going on there? Labor Secretary, a degenerate. Another cabinet secretary, a degenerate, is out the door under a cloud of smoke, under investigation. What's going on? Right behind Pam Bondi and Chris Noem. This is not normal turnover. You know that, right? You know this is not normal, right? And while, all of this is happening in Washington behind closed doors, on the ground level, we got veterans. The very people who fought the wars are not getting arrested. Mike Johnson had those people arrested today. Inside the Cannon House, he had them arrested. That's crazy. That right there is crazy. See, this was over 60 veterans. 60 veterans and military family members were arrested inside the Cannon House office today while protesting the Iran war. 60, they all stood there and they did that. Okay? And then Mike Johnson of the House, Speaker Mike Johnson, had them arrested. Not random protesters, people who served in the war, people who've already been through war, standing there trying to stop another war. They held folded flags, they honored the dead, they carried symbols for lost lives, both American and Iranian, and they asked for one thing: stop the war. And instead of being heard, they were zip-tied and removed. Zip-tied and removed. Now think about what that says. When the people who understand war the most are the ones saying, slow down, let's get out of it, and leadership doesn't listen. That's what happened today, right? Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to make that up. Yeah. That's what happened today. They out there arresting them old people. They out there arresting the handicapped, the veterans, elderly. They're out there arresting all of them. They were in the They were in the Cannon House today, and they got arrested. All of these people trying to stop the war. Real question was simple: are we having a rough patch in this country, or are we or is it really starting to bother folks? Are we really starting to understand what we actually did in 2024? Who we elected in 2024? Okay. Hey, Osmos God. Really understand what we elected in 2024. You know, because right now, there should not be one person defending this administration. There should not be one person defending all of the things that are going on in this administration. Now, my thing is this. In this administration, you have people getting arrested. You have people getting fired. You have wars going on. You have things going left for the people in the United States. Prices going up, food going up, them taking all kinds of programs out, destroying all kinds of programs meant for the poor, meant for the handicapped. When are y'all going to say enough is enough? When are people going to say this is enough? The administration has done enough. When are you guys going to say that? Because it was a wrong thing to do. Next story. Our next story. Okay. Our next story. Lori Chavez.
Got some breaking news out of the White House now with a new cabinet resignation. The Secretary of Labor, according to multiple sources, and I believe now confirmed by the Trump administration, stepping down. She'd been facing an investigation for potential misconduct. Monica Alba is at the White House now. Mon, what do we know about the Labor Secretary?
Yeah, so Hallie, this is a situation in which for weeks there had been an indication that the probe into the Labor Secretary's conduct was growing. This is something that started.
You know, she was about to be fired. She was about to be investigated because she was sleeping with people that were her subordinates, right? And she was having drunken, naked parties with her subordinates, right? She was going on trips and not being able to afford to come back. So some of the people that work for her were giving her free, we got to pay for it. As taxpayers, we pay for them to go and travel. Her personal stuff, her personal places that she was going, they had to use taxpayer dollars to get her home because she wasn't paying for it, or she was too ill to pay for it. You know, drunken, random affairs and just debauchery on the job, drinking on the job, seeing her subordinates, sleeping with her subordinates. She was under investigation. This is wild. Investigations, allegations, internal complaints, a department under strain. This is the Department of Labor. This is the department that can't seem to get us out those real clear numbers of us losing jobs. And she not the first. She ain't gonna be the last. You just got to add her to the list. You just got to, you can't call this a coincidence. You cannot keep saying that Donald Trump is competent and every person around him is incompetent. But see, I know why this is happening. When you're a human being that's morally depraved, when you're a morally depraved human being, you don't mind other morally depraved people around you. You don't care whether they're around you or not. Okay. Yes, it's definitely incompetence. It's definitely incompetence. He's incompetent to a certain extent. Okay. because no person puts forth these people to be in their administration, and they are incompetent. All of these people that work for him are incompetent. At some particular point, we have to call him the same thing. This is a pattern of people entering high-level roles, high-level jobs, and leaving under pressure. And drinking, sexual escapades, spending money like a sailor. At one particular point, we have to say, look, you're a degenerate, and the people that you hired are degenerates. Okay? We can't leave him out at this particular time. Something is wrong with leadership that hired you. And I'm not going to absolve the Republicans, because the Republicans knew that these people were incompetent. The Republicans knew it. But the reason why Trump couldn't get competent people to work for him, morally upstanding human beings to work for him, is because they knew he was corrupt. They knew this president was a corrupt human being. They knew he was morally depraved. That's why nobody decent wanted to work with him. That's why he has all of these people who don't know their jobs working for him. Do you honestly believe there's nobody on this planet that has more experience than Pete Hegseth? Do you honestly believe there's nobody more competent than Pete Hegseth to handle the Department of Defense? Do you honestly believe there's nobody more competent than Kash Patel that can handle the FBI? Because the competent, morally upstanding people who could have worked for him didn't want to work for him, because he's a morally bankrupt person. That's why we have all of these issues with all of these people that work for him. And I'm not I'm not calling him any names. He is what he is. People keep forgetting, or I don't know whether they forget or what, but rich people can be scammers too. Rich people can be morally depraved too. Rich people can be all about themselves and like to hang out with the degenerate human beings too. They just have money. Donald Trump has always been the morally depraved human being. He just had money. That's why I totally and completely believe that he hung out with Jeffrey Epstein, because Jeffrey Epstein was a morally depraved human being, and so is Trump. And every person that he puts in his cabinet has some kind of flaw that comes out after a time. After time, we find out this person, something is wrong, something ain't right. Either the wrong people are being put in position, or problems aren't being handled until they explode. And that's leadership. Either way, it's not controlled. It's reactive. And we can't have this is not a country where you can do that. You have to be proactive in your business with this type of country. We're too a diverse country for this.
FBI Director Kash Patel. Today, I'm going to walk over to see Jake Rosen, my friend and colleague, Justice Department reporter. Let me get the copy here in front of me on the teleprompter. Kash Patel today filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit against the Atlantic magazine. In a new piece, the magazine said Patel has, quote, alarmed colleagues with episodes of excessive drinking and unexplained absences. Jake, you're here. You're under no time constraints. Just tell me what happened with this story and then what the defamation lawsuit alleged.
Well, that's right. This story cited over a dozen people that this reporter, Sarah Fitzpatrick, says that she spoke to both in the administration and out, both who worked with Kash Patel every day and knew and were familiar with what his tenure as FBI director has been like. It alleges that not just has he drank too much on the job from time to time, that we should point out to our audience, CBS News has not independently verified and confirmed these anecdotes that are in this piece.
There's been many a rumor against this person. Many a rumor. I can't. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand what's going on with this person. I don't understand. This is the FBI. People can blackmail this person. Look, watch. That's the FBI. The person in charge of the FBI. The FBI.
But what it has also really brought up was the national security concerns that have arisen because of it. And that's what the center part of this piece was, is that at critical moments in time when FBI directors are needed, Kash Patel has not been around. He's not been present at FBI headquarters here in Washington, and he has not been available in field offices when he's gone to visit them. Details drinking in places like Las Vegas, Washington, D.C., and that there were concerns by people who work with him every day that he just was not quite up for the job, at least according to the officials who this reporter.
And there's a
They said he says it's fake. He says it's a lie. He's trying to push back hard. He's filing a $250 million legal fight lawsuit. But there's been reports before this that accused him of drinking, absences. They had to use almost a battering ram to get him out of his house because he wouldn't wake up. The way he turned that bottle up tells me he drinks. He's a drinker. But he is the FBI. I get it. It's his right to be a drinker. But here's the bigger issue. He is the head of the FBI, and he's supposed to represent discipline, control, and stability. Right? Right? I'm just saying. So when the role becomes surrounded by controversy, allegations, and lawsuits, we don't feel safe in this country. It creates doubts. And leadership at this level, you can't afford to have doubt. Because now the focus shifts from the mission of the FBI to protect and serve this country to the person and their ability to handle their job and the pressure. And that's a problem. It's a problem that he drinks like a fish. We thought the problem was Hegseth. Well, let me back up. Hegseth is the problem. But the bigger problem is Donald Trump and his penchant for morally degenerate human beings. He doesn't require you to be competent. He requires you to be loyal to him because you know that you have things that you want to hide in your past. So he hides those things and you work for him and you're loyal to him. That's what I think. Personally, I think that. I think all of the people that he hired are morally depraved, who all have something wrong with their background, because he asks for loyalty before he asks for anything else. And if you deal with loyalty and you don't deal with competence, this is what you get. Every person that's in your cabinet so far has went out in a blaze of scandal somehow, some way. Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, soon to be Kash Patel. Hegseth is being impeached. Your Secretary of Labor just resigned. All of these people have resigned. All of these people, there are moral fragments to their character. Something is wrong. Okay. No, this is not an America problem or a Democratic problem. This is a leadership problem. This is a Donald Trump problem. This is the incompetence. And as I stated, I'm not gonna let the Republicans off the hook. The Republicans knew that all of these people that they put up and they gave them those positions, they knew these people were incompetent. They knew that. They knew that. Just think about what I'm saying to you. Our government didn't give a damn about who they put in these positions because they didn't give a damn enough to protect the American people. They didn't give a damn enough to protect the American people. At least we knew Donald Trump was a degenerate. Most of us knew Donald Trump was a degenerate. We thought at least you would have competent people around him to tell him, hey, don't do that, don't do that, don't do it. You know what? I hate to say this, but Marco Rubio is the most competent person that he got around him. And Marco Rubio is a snake. That's wild to me. Marco Rubio is a snake, but he's the most competent person that he has around him. And all of the rest of them, all of the rest of these carnival barkers are just going to be fired and thrown out, drunk, whatever. Veterans are being ignored and arrested for trying to stop a war. Cabinet members leaving under investigation, pressure, drinking, drunk, can't wake them up, not showing up when they need to. Top leadership caught in controversy after controversy after controversy and legal battles. This is not random. This is a system showing strain. This is an administration showing strain. This is an administration that does not know how to run or manage or govern a country as diverse and complex as we are. This is what this is. And the real question is this: who is actually running this country right now? Because my understanding is Donald Trump is a little off right now. Because it don't look stable to me. It don't look like it's the moving parts are talking to each other. And it definitely don't look disciplined. I don't care what you say and how you say it. Every president since before and after Donald Trump has had discipline in their administration. No matter how you slice it, this is an administration that you hear about every day. Every day. Every day. This right here is wild. How do y'all have the FBI, leader of the free world, doing this? How do we have the leader of the free world doing this? One of the leaders that is charged with protecting United States home. How? How is that okay? Okay. Congress, especially Republicans, are supposed to check this. Are supposed to check your people. You Republicans need to check your people. You're allowing these people to run us, and we're getting run into the ground. This is why I say Republicans don't ever want to govern. They just want power. You have to govern a country as big and diverse as this. You can't just take power and then start giving directives, putting out putting out those EOs. You can't just be doing that. You have to govern the country. The Republican Congress people, they have a job to do. They have to govern the country. You can't just cede the power to a madman, which is what they did. Republicans are supposed to check this. That's their responsibility. I hold them accountable for this right here. They're supposed to have oversight, accountability, stepping in when leadership starts to drift and fall apart. But instead, they're unwilling to act and do their duty, unwilling to challenge this president, unwilling to correct this course. And when people who are responsible for holding power accountable refuse to hold power accountable, then leadership does not improve. It's going to deteriorate. This is not about party. This is about competence at the heads of our cabinets. This doesn't look like strong leadership in any way, shape, or form. This looks like a system that's out of control. People are starting to say what's becoming hard to ignore. We don't just have isolated problems. We have leadership problems. We have serious leadership problems. That's why we're trying to change it come this November. Hopefully everybody is on the same page and says we need accountability. We need a Congress that can hold this president accountable. We need see, what are you all going to do if he decide that President Donald Trump wants to invade Cuba, wants to invade Greenland, wants to invade other countries? What y'all going to do? Y'all going to sit there and say, oh, he the best president ever? No, the fuck we ain't. We need somebody that will tell him that's not what we're doing. And right now we don't have a government that wants to tell him that we're not doing that. That's why we're trying to change who's in Congress now, because we can't depend on the Republicans. We can't depend on the Republican Party to do so because they're allowing this president to do what he wants to do. So those are the 3 top stories today. So if you like the content and you like the stories, please put a comment in the comment section. I'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate a sub. I'd appreciate, promoting my channel if possible by sharing the content, sharing the video. And I will see you guys tomorrow with the top 3 stories yet again. This is tonight's top stories.